Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Mood616, and thank you once again for stopping in. Alrighty guys, so it's finally fucking here. My top 25 hip-hop albums of 2013. What can I say, man? This was actually a pretty tough list to make considering the year started out so slow. It really picked up throughout the middle and the second half of the year. Just a lot of releases came out that I really was digging, so... upon making this list, you know, of course, I was changing around things and taking things, putting things in, taking things out. It's fucking hard, man. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a kind of like a part 2 to this video. This will be the top 25, and then I'm gonna do some honorable mentions and some other things. So this list is just gonna consist of physical albums that I own. It's going to have no EPs, no instrumentals, no digital only records and stuff, so just physical albums on CD or vinyl or whatever. So yeah, so I think I might do another video doing stuff like that too, but so these are just strictly hip-hop records, vocal hip-hop records, so yeah, let's get right the fuck into it. So starting off at number 25, now this actually kind of surprised me, this made my list, because I didn't really know what to expect from this album when it came out. The MC has put out not the greatest stuff in my opinion as of late, but the producer on the other hand has fucking done such a fantastic job with production over the last few years. It's just so versatile and awesome. And this one really surprised the shit out of me, and that's Prodigy and Alchemist. When I first bought this and popped this in, I was just like, oh wow, Prodigy sounded so good. It sounded kind of motivated, you know, to make a good record. And Alchemist's beats on here just fucking... they're dark and grimy, and I think this really works, because, you know, Prodigy kind of has that, you know, that dark feel to him sometimes, but this is a really dope record, man. You know, got Rock Marciano on here, Havoc and Raekwon, of course, Alchemist, Action Bronson, but this is a fucking good record, man. I highly recommend it. If you've never heard this one, just definitely give it a chance. It might not make your list or whatever, it's just all personal, right? But this one makes the list because it just kind of stood out to me, so, yeah, Prodigy and Alchemist... called Albert Einstein. So, alrighty, number 25. Number 24 is an album that I talked about in my update just recently, and it stuck with me because it was a big surprise. Coming off a really poor album, in my opinion, album of the year, Black Milk revived himself with No Poison, No Paradise. What can I say, man? Beats are banging, and that's really what these albums are about. Black Milk is known for his production, so without good beats, you know, the record's going to be really mediocre, because he's not that great on the mic. But like I said before, this is a great example of an album that can be fucking dope with a mediocre MC and really banging beats. So kept me interested through the whole thing. I didn't really dislike anything on it, so just a big surprise. Really enjoyed this. Black Milk, number 24. Number 23, this album didn't really surprise me. I kind of figured what I was getting myself into. All produced by Eminem. Produced by Eminem, what the fuck? Produced by fucking Evidence. Produced by Evidence and Elemento, of course, from the Visionaries. And this album is called After the Fact. I always forget the name of this album, it's weird. After the Fact, yeah, all produced by Evidence. It's a great record. I love Evidence's production. Holy shit, I'm just fumbling everywhere. And I'm a big fan of Elemento. I love his delivery. I love his style. You know, I think he's just a kind of a unique MC that kind of sticks out. So, but it's just solid throughout the whole record. There's no real blips in it. I found, so that's why it makes the list. It was just another record I could, you know, pop in and just listen to. Good shit. So that was number 23. Number 22 is going to be an album, producer album, by a guy that I've been digging since, you know, he put out his very first one, producer record. He had, I think, one record I didn't really like that much, but Static Select, his new record, Extended Play. Of course, you got pretty much all the same, not all the same cats, but everybody that you would expect to be on this album is on here. You got everybody from Action Bronson to Black Thought, Raekwon, Sean Price, you got fucking Evidence, Blue, Rex, and the list goes on. So, the stick-out song on this record, Bird's Eye View, with Raekwon, Joey Badass, and Black Thought, such a dope fucking song, man. For the longest time, I always thought that Joey Badass's verse didn't really fit in the song. It's really grown on me, though. But I still think it does stick out as not the weakest verse, but his verse just, for some weird reason, it's weird because Raekwon and Black Thought just complement each. I don't know. There's something about Joey Badass's verse that's just, it's not off-putting, but it's just different in the song. But I love it though. It's a good track. Overall, really solid record. Another one by Static Selecta. You know, you either like him or you don't. So yeah. So that was number 22. Number 21 is the first of, I believe, 2 Apollo Brown projects in this top 25 list. Mellow Music Group release. What can I say? Ugly Heroes, self-titled record, Ugly Heroes. The group consisted of all produced by Apollo Brown. We got Verbal Kent, and you got Red Pill in there. This was just a solid record. You know, I've always kind of really enjoyed Verbal Kent, you know, to the most part, and this was no exception. I thought it was just a solid record, just a really good listen. Another solid effort, you know, put out by Mellow Music Group. So, yeah, they really don't miss a lot with the releases. So this was not really a big surprise, but yeah, very enjoyable. So that was number 21. So number 20 is the second of Apollo Brown releases, and that is the, I guess, kind of remix album of 12 Reasons to Die, the Brown tape, Ghostface Killah and Apollo Brown. I preferred this over the, you know, the original album. This one just stuck out more to me. I don't know. I just like the beats better, I guess. I don't really know why. I just preferred it a lot more. It just stuck with me. The first one I found to be kind of, it was hit and miss with the beats, in my opinion, and it felt kind of boring at times. This one just kind of stayed on point and was solid throughout. So, yeah, so that's why it makes the list at number 20. Apollo Brown, Ghostface Killah, very interesting combo to say the least. But what can I say? Very dope. At number 20. So, yeah, number 19. Sorry, I got my list sitting over there. Number 19. I think this is the only Canadian album on this entire list, and that goes to DL Incognito's brand new album, Someday Is Less Than a Second Away. I did a review for this, so if you didn't check that out, you can go back and check it out if you want to hear my full thoughts on this one. This is just a really great album. DL Incognito's 5th record, and 5th fucking solid album. There's not too many MCs that have 5, you know, albums in a row that are so solid. You can pop in any DL Incognito album at any time and just listen to it straight through. He always comes with the goods. You always know what you're going to get with him. That's what's so awesome about it. And, you know, he's a very personal MC, and you kind of feel you can relate to a lot of the stuff that he's going through. And the beats are banging, of course. Tech 12 does stuff on here as usual, and just another great effort by DL Incognito. Pick it up if you haven't, man. I really recommend this. Number 19. Number 18 is another album I did a review for earlier, I think a couple months back, actually. And that's Clive Craven's Natural Selection. I was actually just floored by this. This album was really, it took me by surprise. I just couldn't get over the versatility in the verses and the choruses and the beats. And with that said, is because there were 16 different producers on this record, and I thought the album was going to come out a little... at first I didn't think it was going to be that cohesive, but it really sounds very cohesive and put together really well. It's got a few, you know, features here and there, but overall it's a really, really solid album. I was just really impressed with this. Clive Craven did a really good job with this, so yeah, mad props to Clive. So yeah, number 18, Natural Selection. Number 17 is an album that... there is a couple tracks on here that I'm not the biggest fan of. I won't lie, but I love, you know, the MC on it, and that is R.A. the Rugged Man, Legends Never Die. Yeah, I think definition of a rap flow, just that song is absolutely phenomenal, except for the chorus. I think the chorus kind of hurts that one a little bit. And there's a couple other choruses on the album I think are whatever, and there's a couple beats. But overall, as a project, I listened to this album quite a bit this year. It really did kind of grow more on me, and I kind of respect, even the songs that I wasn't feeling that much kind of were listenable. It's just because R.A. the Rugged Man is so amazing on the microphone. Like, he destroys everything that he touches. It's just awesome. It was an interesting album. I know some people weren't feeling this. I know Jason vs. Bosco wasn't his favorite release. He was very let down by it, but I can totally see why people would be able to, you know, off-put by this one. But yeah, it really grew on me. I just listened to it a lot. So, R.A. the Rugged Man, number 17. Number 16, we've got an album that Actually, it took me by surprise too. I wasn't expecting a whole lot from this one, and it came through with the goods. And I talked about this in my update too, and that's Tony Touch's Peacemaker 3, the return of 50 MCs, 25 tracks of goodness. Really, I really like the structure. I like the full songs with. It feels like kind of almost like a mixtape kind of deal, but it's not. It's just a really good structured album. Lots of good features on here. You got everyone from Black Thought to Action Bronson, Willie the Kid, Eminem, Bun B, fucking Master Ace, Rod Digga, AG. It's just the list goes on, but solid beats throughout though. That's really what impressed me. I didn't really know what to expect because I believe the second one I wasn't feeling. I liked Tony Touch's first album that came out I think in the late 90s. His second one I remember not liking. I don't even actually have that record, but yeah, this was really good. I was really floored by this, and yeah, Tony Touch, number 16. Number 15 is another album that grew on me. At first, I was struggling with this album. I really wanted to like it more, and so I just kept listening to it, and and it definitely grew on me. And that's Ill Bill's The Grimy Awards. I still think that Paul Baloff, the first song on the record, shouldn't be the first song. I think that's what off-put me on the record. I don't know. It just feels like it should be a song towards the end of the record. It's just my opinion. It's just really quirky nitpicking by me, but you know what? I've gotten past it, though. It doesn't really matter to me anymore, but yeah, there's some bangers on here, man. Production is pretty cool, man. I love Power, man, with OC and Cormega. That fucking track is so sick, man. But yeah, just another solid effort by Ill Bill. He doesn't really seem to disappoint me a whole lot, you know. I wasn't the biggest fan of his album with DJ Muggs. I thought the mix on that album was fucking awful. It ruined the album for me. But yeah, another great effort by Ill Bill, the Grammy Awards. Definitely check it out. What was that number? What was it, number 15? So number 14, we've got the first of a couple projects by this producer. This, I believe, at first I think was a free download that turned into a physical copy, and that is, of course, Newport Authority 2 by Marco Polo. I think this was a free download, and then it got put out as a... I think that's how it went. I can't remember. But, yeah, this has got some, awesome features on here, man. I love the song BK to New Jersey, man, by DOS Effects. It's fucking dope, man. Can't go wrong with, Large Professor on here. You got Malcolm and Martin, which is dope. Artifacts, Back to Work is just so phenomenal. Fucking love that track. It's good to see the Artifacts back together like Organized Confusion. Now let's hope that we can see an Artifacts and an Organized Confusion album sometime in the near future. That'd be amazing. But anyways, Marco Polo's production mixed in with a lot of dope MCs. You're just gonna get a solid project, and this is what you got, or this is what I got with Newport Authority 2. So Marco Polo. Awesome stuff, and that was at number 14. So number 13 is an album that I thought was probably going to crack my top 10. It just missed it, but one of my favorite crews of all time, and that is Hieroglyphics with The Kitchen. Now, I've heard a lot of people complain about this record. They said they weren't really feeling the sound and stuff, but at first it didn't grab me 100%. But I've listened to this album a lot since, and I really like this album now. It's just another solid effort by Hieroglyphics. It's definitely not their best work in the world, but I think everyone comes together good. Everybody from Soul sounds good on this record, and of course Dell and Casual and Pep Love and stuff. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, man. What can I say? Hieroglyphics, The Recipe, The Kitchen. Fuck me, man. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about today. Definitely check it out though if you haven't. Very cool stuff. Now this was an album that I originally thought that was gonna definitely be my top 10. It just missed, of course. This is at number 12, and that's Deltron's Vent 2. I talked about this one in the update, and it grabbed me right away, man. It definitely grabbed me right away, and I think it's an intriguing album. It sounds completely different than the first Deltron album, which I was expecting to happen, but I think Del sounded really good on the mic. He sounded motivated on this. Like, he's had some prior releases recently that sometimes he just sounds lazy on the mic, but this one, it sounds like they put some effort into it, came out with a real solid project. So Deltron Event 2, very cool. I heard people complaining that the skits weren't the best, but whatever, it's okay. Deltron Event 2, dug it. In at number 11 is another Hieroglyphics project, and that is First Light's Fallacy Fantasy. Yeah, what can I say, man? Like, this album right here, I didn't really know 100% what to expect from this one, but, you know, this one really took me by, like, by surprise, I gotta say, though. Yeah, they were just fantastic on this record, man. Like, what can I say? Fucking Pep Love, Opio. Um, I don't know, man. I just this one grabbed me right away. You know, I am kind of biased when it comes to Hyro projects. There was even a few that didn't make this list or anything, but this one really did kind of fucking. I love this album. I think it's awesome. So, yeah, First Light's awesome. Definitely check this out if you haven't. So that was number 11. Yeah, so the top 10. In at number 10 is going to be an album that, fuck, man, I love blasting this record. It always gets me pumped up and shit. And that is Killer Mike and LP's Run the Jewels, self-titled record, Run the Jewels. Beats are fucking banging. I think LP and Killer Mike complement each other on the mic so well. I don't know why they work so well together, but they do, and this is the result, you know. Just a really solid record. 10 tracks of just fucking banging shit. I love A Christmas Fucking Miracle. The very last track. Title is awesome. Yeah, very solid release, man. I hope that they do more work together because this is fantastic. I'd love to hear more stuff from LP and Killer Mike together. You know, especially LP. I'm a big fan of LP. I've been a big fan of LP for so fucking long. But very good project right there. Number 10. In at number 9, and I've watched a few different lists where this has cracked not only the top 3, but been the favorite record for a couple people this year, including Alex from the Underground Vault. I know he's a really fucking huge fan of Necro. And that is The Godfathers, Kool G Rap and Necro album, all produced by Necro. And it's another album I just talked about, but yeah, I figured that, you know, the structure and of the album was going to be what it was, and you know, verse, chorus, just hard rhymes and hard beats and stuff, and that's what you got with this. You know, Kool G Rap didn't disappoint. I think Necro sounded fine on the record. You know, I know Necro's very hit and miss with people on the microphone, but his production just holds it up enough, and it's a very solid album. I was actually very impressed with this, and yeah, it's just it's a fun listen. It's great. So, you know, I'm glad to see that this project actually fucking happened, because I remember all the rumors and stuff, and at first I was like, well, I doubt this is ever going to happen, because I believe that Kool G Rap is Necro's favorite MC, so that's very cool that he got to, you know, do a project with his favorite MC. So, yeah, The Godfathers in at number 9. Number 8 is another Marco Polo project, and that is Hannibal Stack's Marco Polo Seize the Day. This album, first time I listened to it, I was like, that's probably going to make my top 10. I love this album. Hannibal Stack's is fucking dope. Marco Polo's beats are fucking dope. So, does Marco Polo ever do anything shitty? I don't think he's ever put out anything shitty. The guy's so fucking solid. But yeah, just an amazing record, man. Brooklyn's so fucking dope on here. Like, man, I couldn't recommend this one enough, man. This gets another really, really high recommendation from me. It's fantastic. So, Hannibal Stack's Marco Polo in at number 8. Number 7 is definitely not as good as their first album, but I fucking love this album. It grew on me. At first, I was like, you know, but then I don't know, I was like, whatever. This album's awesome. So, and that's Hark by the Doppelgangers. Love the fucking intro in this, man. The intro is so awesome. It's a great intro. It's a pretty short album, though, but still very enjoyable. It's you get enjoyment out of it. That's all you need to do. And I think these guys are gonna be really fucking, you know, in the near future, they're gonna just put out nothing but solid material. They have some really cool instrumental records, and they're just a fucking awesome group, man. Really enjoy it, and really quality kind of boombastic, you know, new age boombastic hip hop. I don't know, very cool, man. Doppelgangers, Hark, loved it. So that was number 7. What am I at here? Yeah, I'm on number 6 here, and this is the third and final Marco Polo project of 2013, and that is Port Authority 2, the director's cut, Marco Polo producer record, and this is just phenomenal. Like I said, 3 o'clock in my update is fucking amazing. Organized Confusion, the return of Organized Confusion, Prince Poe, Pharoah Monch, fuck, it's just like heaven to me, man. That's so amazing. Like I said, man, even Savages is dope, Slain, self-titled Ill Bill, Rod Digga's fucking dope on here. The MC8 and King T song, West Coast Love, is fucking amazing. Superstition's awesome. I love the Doppelganger song in here. It's so fucking dope. Overall, this is just an amazing album. You got Gangrene on here, of course, Alchemist and Ono, Strange Brews, dope. Malcolm and Martin was cool to see. And Glory, the very last song on here with Master Ace, AG, Possum De La Soul, fucking dope, man. This is quality hip hop, man. Support Marco Polo. The dude is just killing it this year. He's fucking amazing. So yeah, so that was number 6. So into the top 5 albums of 2013, and yeah, I don't know when I was making this list. I was actually quite surprised this made my top 5, but I found myself listening to this album constantly throughout the years since it came out. So, in at number 5 is the brand new Demigods album at Killmatic. I love this album. It's got great samples, got real cool scratch samples in it, really banging beats, and everybody on this album really kind of does their thing, man. It's got cool features, man. I love that Turney was on this album. That was very cool to see her on a track. But yeah, I even like Terminology on this record, which is surprising. I'm not the biggest Terminology fan, but the song that he did was very dope, man. But yeah, I gotta say though, the one song here, which I know people have talked about me even saying this, but Demigods is Back. I'm not the biggest fan of the Rocky sample, but it's tolerable. It's not the worst thing in the world at all. I fucking love Worst Nightmare. I love that track so much. And Raiders Cap, actually. Raiders Cap it just feels like such a throwback old school track to me. I love it. So Demigods, what can I say, man? Highest recommendation, awesome shit. Number 5. In at number 4 is an album I knew right away after one listen was going to probably be in my top 5, and it did make it. And that is Czarface's self-titled debut album. Yeah, 7L Esoteric and Inspected Deck. I remember when they did Speaking Real Words way back in the day. I was like, fuck, that's amazing. So cool that they actually did a project together. What can I say, man? Production on here is fucking dope. You actually have a DJ Premier produced track on here. Let It Off. Yeah, what can I say, man? You got Rock Marciano on here, Ghostface Killah, Action Johnson, Vinny Paz, Capadonna. Yeah, so it's just a banging fucking album. Air 'Em Out right off the bat. It had me hooked, man. I fucking love that song. Savagely Attack. Really, the sample in that song is just so sick. The vocal sample is awesome. Poisonous Thoughts is awesome. There's nothing shitty on here. I can listen to this album straight through. I love it. I'm fucking so mad that I missed the original print of this with the pop-up and stuff. Actually, I didn't. I had ordered that. I never got it, so I had to reorder, and this is what I got. So, yeah, I've had a bad year with not receiving CDs. I seem to receive all my movies, but I don't know what the fuck is with albums. But Czarface, awesome. Number 4. Top 3 time. In at number 3 is an album that probably isn't going to really surprise a whole lot of people. I fucking love their first 2 albums. I love their other project that came out this year. And that is Something for the Listeners by Epidemic. Just another throwback kind of 90s sounding album that just really works for me. Mike Masters is fucking amazing on this album. I love that track. What can I say, man? Rhyme Writers is amazing. Like, right off the bat, this album just fucking had a death hold on me. I love it top to bottom. There's no misses on here for me. MCs are dope, man. It's definitely probably, I think this is my least favorite album out of the 3, which is saying a lot that it's in my top 3 from this year. But man, these guys are putting out some solid motherfucking records, man. I love how they're doing these producer records, kind of. But yeah, Epidemic, definitely check this out. It's fucking amazing. Number 3. So number 2, talked about this one in an update also recently, and the producer from the land down under, Australia, Kid Tsunami with The Chase. Like I said, man, this is like this album could have been made in the 90s. I think every MC from here came from the 90s. But yeah, every MC was in the 90s. All the beats sound like they came from the 90s. Very authentic sounding, very crisp. What can I say, man? If you haven't checked this out, fucking check this shit out, man. It's so good. If you like 90s boom bap hip hop, this is the shit right here. I was floored when I first heard this. I was fucking loved it. The lineup just blew me away. I couldn't believe all the MCs that he actually had on here. I believe this is, I don't even know if this is Kid Tsunami's first album. I found this out through the grapevine kind of thing. But yeah, check this out, Kid Tsunami. I fucking love this album so much. It's so good. In at number 2, and yes, drumroll. That was the worst drum roll in the fucking world. In at number 1 is an album I also did a review for this year, and after one listen, I listened to this album at one point, I think one night, like 6 or 7 times in a row. I could not stop listening to it. I just love it. And I knew right then it was going to be my favorite album of the year, and nothing was going to top it. And that is the BBZ Darnie produced album for U-Mang, The Revisited. What can I say, man? I just, kind of talked about this one a little bit, but every song on this album I fucking love. Great cuts by DJ Grasshopper in this. Dude, so I couldn't even, I don't even know where to start with the song. Stay Focused is absolutely amazing. I love Nightmare. Killzone is amazing. Ghetto Guitar is fucking amazing. Oh, there's no misses on this. Awesome fucking beats. I know a lot of people were kind of criticizing, well, from what I read, people just bitching about, BBC Darnie's beats are very similar sounding. I don't think that's really a bad thing. I think it really works, but I think U-Mang is just an amazing MC. It's too bad they're not going to be doing anything else together, but you know what? At least we got 2 records from them together, and I know BBC Darnie has a new record coming out, which I'm super fucking ecstatic for. It's going to be amazing, and I'm looking forward to the new U-Mang project that's coming out too, so be on the lookout for those. But yeah, number 1 album of the year, The Revisited. Just absolutely love this 90s fucking boom bap hip hop. This is my shit. I love it. It sounds so authentic. It's very well done, and it just holds my attention through the whole album. I couldn't say enough good things about this. So U-Mang at number 1. Yeah, I believe that I'm running out of time here. I hope this video hasn't cut off already. But anyways, guys, that's the top 25 list. I will post it underneath here. I'll just quickly run through this. So again, U-Mang number 1, Kid Tsunami number 2, Epidemic number 3, Czarface number 4, Demigods number 5, Marco Polo Port Authority 2 number 6, Doppelgangers number 7, Hannibal Stack's Marco Polo number 8, Godfathers number 9, Run the Jewels number 10, First Light number 11, Deltron number 12, Hieroglyphics at number 13, Marco Polo Newport Authority at number 14, Ill Bill number 15, Tony Touch number 16, Are the Rugged Man number 17, Clive Craven at number 18, DL Incognito at number 19, Ghostface Apollo Brown number 20, Ugly Heroes number 21, Static Selected number 22, Elemento number 23, Black Milk number 24. Very surprised about this album. Very good shit. And this is probably the biggest surprise to make my list, considering that my honorable mentions, I don't know, number 25, Prodigy and the Alchemist. So yeah, fucking great year in my opinion. So I am going to make kind of like a part 2 to this video. I'm not going to name it part 2, but it's just going to be like an honorable mentions, and I'm going to talk about some honorable mentions that might include EPs and stuff, and I'm going to talk about some instrumental records too this year that I really enjoyed, that have physical copies. So, but yeah, so stay tuned for that video, and I'm going to try in 2014 to make more hip-hop videos. I get PMs all the fucking time. I feel like I'm just neglecting it, and it just takes more time to do reviews with this stuff, and because I like to listen to the albums a little bit more and stuff. So, but yeah, thank you guys for watching and commenting. It means a lot, and subscribing, of course. And I'll be back hopefully a lot more in 2014 here. So, peace out, guys.